Clone Commander Cody, a natural and practical leader in the clone army. Cody was a good fit for General Kenobi, to whom he was particularly loyal. Hello and welcome to Centurion's Corner, and today we are finally reviewing Clone Commander Cody in the new archive line. Now this guy come out way back in the Blue series, I think it was, and hard to get hold of, and only for about £100 if you wanted him sort of a recent. I decided to play patience because I thought they probably may re-release this guy, and I'm really hoping they re-release the 4-pack of clone figures as well very shortly. But yeah, so here he is for £20, and apparently there's ample to stock, and I picked up mine from In Demand Toys. So get out there and get it quick before it starts going up in price, as like Boba Fett always seems to sell out and disappear. I reckon it'd be the same for this guy. So here he is in the new archive looking packaging. We are celebrating this year apparently of the 50th anniversary of Lucasfilm. That's why we've got this kind of nice gold on the outside. Then it transcends into the silver on this side for that archive line. We've got the picture down here of him, and he looks pretty nice in the bubble pack as well, I must say. On the back we just have that pencil drawing again, and he's actually got a bio, and we've got a timeline here of what Lucasfilm has kind of brought out in the Star Wars timeline. But I never knew that it took that many years, or Lucasfilm was out 50 years ago. I thought it descended at the same time as Star Wars, but I guess we learn. So I guess without further ado, let's just bust this guy open. So here he is in his blister pack, and he's got his 2 accessories, which is nice to have the sort of different blasters that we can pose him with. And obviously he looks really cool there. So we just take him out for his first impressions before taking away for his initial review. Just careful of those antennas. Just be careful as you take that out, because that area was actually poking through a hole just in there, so you don't want to bend it as you take it out. And here he is, looking very fine and dapper, and actually he looks like he's going to hold up very well even to the latest clone troopers as well. So yeah, we're going to go away, take some photos, and we'll be back in a mo. So here he is, Commander Cody in all his glory. And if you made it this far and you still haven't purchased him, I just highly recommend just putting that £20 down straight away, because if you're having an R-ing about it, then in a year's time you're going to be kicking yourself, because this guy is going to get snapped up. And actually he still holds really well to all the other clone troopers. There is a few little nitpicks, you know, like Hasbro kind of always have, but it's not too bad. And I think really he's probably one of the better clone troopers that we have ever produced. So anyway, it comes with 2 accessories, and his first accessory is the DC rifle. Again, it's the same mold as we always get. It's kind of done in this kind of, it's got like a film over it. It feels very kind of matted over the top of it, and unfortunately they haven't painted the barrel part at the bottom, but all the details and all that are there. His other accessory he comes with is the DC carbine. Again, no paint applications on there, but it's the same mold that we always get. And obviously we have a nice trigger finger, and also he can hold the stock, which is always a bonus. So taking those accessories, we can go through his articulation, and he's got a few weird parts up here. So on the head we can actually do a left and a right. You can look down and you can look up, but he has got a weird kind of movement here. We can push down and go down a little bit further. Just seems to be a bit weird. Arm, shoulder, we can do a rotation here, and it also can come up to about this far. It's not really hindered too much by that. We've got rotation at the upper bicep. We've got a double elbow joint there. It only comes up this far, but it's more than 90 degrees, so more than what we need. We've got a rotation at the wrist, and it's also on a hinge. The actual ab crunch here, it makes that clicking noise, which I never really like. And down, can't really go that much, and back, just only that far. Legs wise, they can come up this far, and then back this far, wide, upper thigh swivel, double jointed knee, and then we've got the rocker and the pivot at the ankle. So the actual articulation is pretty good for this figure, and he can actually get his legs up probably better than Commander Gree. He still sort of struggles to get him into that kneeling pose like position, but he's probably the one that can come the most closest to it. Now, I'm not too sure if that's because his legs feel a bit gammy. They don't feel very sort of sturdy, and they are a little bit wobbly as well. And I've noticed a few people complaining online that they are. And he does decide when you want to put him down, it sort of sometimes feels like he's just jumping off from his location. So apart from that, it's okay. But I'll be a bit worried about these legs getting even looser over time. But what actually brings Cody to us is obviously this fantastic sculpt that Hasbro had produced to us a few years back. So really looking at him, we can start at the helmet and work our way down. We've got the nice kind of sort of the grey kind of parts on there, and the torch part, and the aerials all painted in a nice metallic kind of form. The aerials just poking out a bit weird there because the plastic is pushing it out. But the actual paint applications on there are really good, with the grey nose part as well. I thought this may be not painted here, but actually it's actually white anyway. Down on the torso, the actual badge and everything is done really, stands out really nice. For how small it is, it's painted really well. I would like to see some sort of like carbon scoring in these marks. It's just a bit white, and that detail does get a bit missing, so maybe on a little later date I might fill those in with a bit of black wash. Down here we've got some scrapes and all that on these torso part, which is pretty good, and his belt as well is really kind of detailed. I never knew that it had the gold parts, and these thermal detonator had all this other paints on there as well. Arm wise, we've got the grey strip and the aerial as well. It's not belt bent or anything up there, which is pretty good. And on this side we've got another sort of extra gadget as well strapped to his arm. Hands wise, they're good. They're just trigger fingers and a gripping hand. Down on the legs we've got the extra kind of stripe that he has here. No chipping on the knees, and down to there. I would like to see some sort of, maybe a little bit of weathering and stuff on there that we have had of recently, but you know, I suppose we can add that in at a later date. And obviously he's got his little jetpack on the back that isn't removable, it's stuck to the figure. And yeah, that is pretty much Commander Cody, but he is absolutely fantastic and he's pretty cool. So apparently there is amples of stock out there, which is pretty good to hear for these clone troopers as well. And so for later on, I have picked up the other two archive figures as well, which is Han and Luke. I haven't picked up Commander Thrawn just because I didn't think it's just worthy enough to spend another £20 on a figure that I pretty much do have for a little bit of face on there. But and that's it. So maybe at a later date I might weather this guy up, so you might see him on another video at some other point, or in the background on some more clone troopers coming your way. So thank you once again for joining me in this one. You can comment down below, you can subscribe and like, and also in the description you can find my Instagram where you'll be seeing more pictures of this guy definitely over the next few weeks. So thank you once again, you take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.